Welcome back to PerpDex Daily. I'm Aaron, and today we have a lot to cover. We got an update on the multi-coin hyperliquid situation that's going on. We have some good macro updates, and the founder of Lighter delivered some really good messages to us in a podcast yesterday that I definitely want to cover. But let's hop straight into it. As always, let's take a look at the hyperliquid price. Hyperliquid sitting around $59. It's still holding in this range right now after the big FUD and story about multi-coin, which we're going to cover later in today's episode. And the lighter is sitting around $2.20. I would say most of the kind of general hype, no pun intended, that we saw over PerpDex is kind of starting to simmer down. We've seen hype kind of start to chop and lighter start to chop as well. I would say, if I'm being completely truthful from here, at least in my opinion, I think lighter has more upside considering hype sitting at a $15 billion market cap and lighter sitting around $500 million. But I think in a long enough time frame, I'm a long time frame person, we're in amazing ranges in terms of like accumulation. I believe hyperliquid is going to go to $100, $200, and can definitely even go further. And I think lighter is going, I could see lighter reaching a $10 billion market cap. We take a look at Bitcoin here. On to Bitcoin, truthfully, and I've been saying this on Twitter, I mean, guys, like, I feel like the writing's on the wall and nobody just wants to say it, but it's the same pattern over and over, It's just higher lows, bang, bang, and then like what's going to happen here? Bang. Like, I don't know. I think it's very possible we get on the 45K. We take a look at the stock market. The S&P 500 starting to dump a little bit. Seems unbreakable at this point. I mean, are we really ever going to see a real correction in the stock market ever again? Probably at some point, but who knows? But Jesus Christ, look at oil. I mean, this is one of the craziest charts I've seen in terms of like a TradFi. I mean, it's a commodity, but it's like, this is ridiculous. This is like the most insane cup and handle I've ever seen. But oil is going crazy. Probably this is going to have to come down at some point just because of how mad people are going to be at the gas station. But on to our first story of the day, which is our macro story. U.S. House officially passes bill to ban Congress from insider trading. I mean, not sure how this didn't get banned from the beginning, but yeah, I'm glad they passed that. Next thing, let's go to our Hyperliquid stat page. Hyperliquid's done over $1 million of fees in the last 24 hours. And if you take a look at TWAP buys, there is some TWAP buys going on, not as much as normal. And as I've said, I think we're kind of in a period right now when it comes to Hyperliquid and lighter even, that we're seeing opportunity. This is not the chasing the green candle stage. Lighter recently pumped in the past couple of weeks. We know that. And then Hyperliquid went on a big run 2 months ago. But this is a good period, I think, where I don't think we're chasing green candles here. I mean, just objectively, lighter's in the red right now. And Hyperliquid's been chopping this range. So I think these are both good ranges to kind of get in if you want to, and everything like that. But here's a good stat for Hyperliquid. I posted this on Twitter today. If you're not following me on Twitter, you definitely should be. Hyperliquid's open interest has continued to climb higher. Open interest means the open positions, the open contracts that exist for HIP3 on Hyperliquid. So you could basically say the open contracts on Hyperliquid. And this, if you take a look at it here, the stat right here, new all-time high. So that's good to see. Activity on the platform is continuing to go up. And once again, you sometimes have to understand it's not a meme coin. This is a multi-billion-dollar company, and it's going to take time. So right now they're in Washington trying to pass the Clarity Act, and the Clarity Act will benefit Hyperliquid and Lighter greatly long-term. So you do actually have to be patient. And here's why I want to apologize to you guys. I want to apologize to all 35 of my subscribers, all 35 of you. I want to apologize because yesterday I reported in the video that multi-coin capital did sell. There was a post that went viral on X that I covered in the video yesterday that said they had sold. And they showed all these on-chain screenshots and everything. So I went ahead and said, well, yeah, I took it for the video. Sorry, guys. But they actually didn't sell. And to the guy's defense on Twitter, reading stuff on chain is a lot harder than people think. Obviously, it's pretty easy to read simple transactions if you go on SolScan or EtherScan. But when it comes to these large venture capital funds and large hedge funds, when they're moving their coins around, they're doing it very strategically. They don't want people hawking their stuff. And yeah, technically there's a lot of interesting things you can do in terms of what you can do to make the blockchain hard to read with what your coins are. I'm not going to get into it in this video. But they put out on Twitter anyways, Tushar put on Twitter, yesterday we unstaked a large slug of hype. We did not unstake the sell. This is why privacy matters. Our funds are constantly tracked, forcing regular wallet rotations. Institutions need privacy to operate. This is why we're long Zama and ZEC. Zama unlocks private DeFi. Zcash is the leading private store value chain. As capital markets continue to move on chain, privacy is paramount. And then Spencer from Capital, Multicoin Capital said, please stop DMing me asking if we unstake the sell. The answer is no. So I guess they were just moving the coins around, whatever. But that is good news, and I'm glad to know that. So the price of Hyperliquid did kind of retrace and move a little bit up after that announcement came up. Now to Lighter. Lighter partnered with Cub Chain. So this is cool. I'm glad to see Lighter's making more partnerships. And a new collateral. Take a look at this. USO is now live as collateral on Lighter on the Robinhood chain. So that's good to see. And then to our highlight for Lighter. So we're going to react to this clip right here. So this is the CEO of Lighter right here, and this is a podcaster, influencer named Thread Guy. And just take a look what he says in this video. We'll do a little reaction.
Centralized perps are already here. That's happening, right? As we speak, like there are people in the US trading perps within uncentralized venues, specifically like Kalshi. Right now, the next step will be decentralized perps. I think the area that we're most excited about, kind of the PerpDex space. I mean, right now, no one has a license for that. We are kind of well on our way in that process. So, I think we feel very good about that, and we think the technical choices we've made at Lighter make it easier to comply with a lot of these rules. And we've been very impressed by the leadership and kind of the team at CFTC that's really been operating, looking at innovation and while still keeping true to the core principles. Centralized perps are already here.
All right, guys. So this is what you need to know out of what he just said and why it matters. So he basically just said, hey, there's no PerpDex that has licenses in the United States right now. Hyperliquid doesn't, nor Lighter, nor any PerpDex. Lighter is in the process of getting one, okay? So is Hyperliquid as well. The catch is, this guy right here, the CEO of Lighter, he is on the advisory board for the CFTC. Okay. Also, the founder of Robinhood, who he's very close with and even went to high school with, is also on the advisory board for the CFTC. So, in terms of them getting a license, how close they are, I'm not really sure. Things take a lot of time in terms of regulatory stuff. We know this. Will they get one? I think it's highly likely. This is what I was saying weeks ago, about a month ago, with the Robinhood thing. I'm saying it's possible, anything's possible. Anything's possible in crypto. It's possible they don't partner with Robinhood, but Robinhood did just end up investing $30 million in their Series B round, and the founders are really close to each other. But it's possible they don't partner. But the likelihood of Robinhood and Lighter making that partnership was really high. And I would say the likelihood of them getting a license is also very, 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 very high. So I'm betting on the fact that they are going to get this license. And when they do get the license and they're able to be on the Robinhood main app and Robinhood's able to start pushing these perpetuals, I think that's when Lighter is going to really explode. Because right now you got to understand, Lighter cannot even operate on all these US platforms. Neither can Hyperliquid. They can't. And they need these licenses in order to do that. So, and what country has the most liquidity? It's the United States. Okay? So it matters a lot, and this is a big, big, big clip, and a lot of people are just going to skip over and not care, but this is really big. And he's gone on a couple of podcasts lately and kind of said the same thing, but just want to point this out. And to our next story, take a look at this, tokenized stock. So this is kind of in our Hyperliquid Lighter avenue, but take a look at this post from Andy. Tokenized stocks are going to grow by 10x in the coming years, and there's no doubt to it. So take a look at this. Tokenized stocks grew 400% by market cap in a year. So you can see last year, June 2025 and June 2026, take a look at how much tokenized stocks grew. And I don't think this trend, this RWA tokenized trend per thing is going to reverse. I think it's only going to get bigger. Now, it's going to take time. It's probably going to take years, actually. But I do think it's going to get much, much, much bigger. And we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it won't. I think it will. To our next story, I want to talk about Pumpthon, which is, a meme coin platform that we've been starting to talk about. We're going to talk about memes. at the very end of every show probably, because that's what people care about, and the PerpDex. Anyways, Pump Fund, take a look at this. In the last 30 days, has done almost $76 million worth of fees. And this is what I've been saying on Twitter, is people are not pricing in the fact that meme coins are never going to die. The trenches are never going to die. And that means Pump Fund's business is probably always going to do really, really well. I mean, we're in a bear market and they're cleaning. They've done over $3 million of fees in the last 24 hours in a bear market, where Solana's at $70 and Bitcoin's at $60K. What does it look like when Solana's at 200 and Bitcoin's at 120? What does it look like if Bitcoin's at 200 and Solana's at 350? Are they doing $20 million days? Pump Fund is truly undervalued. Now, why is Pump Fund, which has done more fees than Hyperliquid in the past 30 days, valued so much lower? Well, meme coins have a lower total addressable market than RWA / tokenization. Tokenization RWA has much more potential as a total market long term than meme coins. And that is why, part of the reason why Pump Fund's valued lower than Hyperliquid. Because Hyperliquid, in the long term, people are suspecting that it will get bigger in terms of it's going to be driving a lot more fees than Pump Fund, basically. Okay? And a couple other reasons, Pump Fund and Hyperliquid, they don't, and same with Lighter, they don't have the same buyback mechanics. Like Pump does not have the same buyback mechanics as Hyperliquid and Lighter. Their tokenomics isn't as good. They also have a sentiment issue. There's kind of some trust issues with the team. But overall, I do think it is an underrated and undervalued bet. In terms of the actual meme coin ecosystem, like the trenches, so in the past month, what we've seen is liquidity, the money went from Solana to Robinhood chain, like the Robinhood memes. And now we're seeing all the Robinhood memes dump and the money's going back to Solana. Just take a look at this. And the truth is right now, the money in crypto in terms of the meme coin space is not getting bigger right now. It is the same money just rotating around. The same money that was in Solana went to Robinhood and all the Solana memes dumped and all the Robinhood memes pumped. And now all the money went back to Solana and now all the Robinhood memes are dumping. It's the same fucking money. So anybody who's out here trying to tell you that, there's more money coming to the meme coin space right now, I don't really know what statistics they're looking at or what's convincing them of that. But anyways, that's all I got for today's show. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, join the Discord, and make sure to follow me on X, and see you tomorrow.